Come ela, eu vou comer ela, eu vou comer.
Hey everyone, welcome back to World Explained It, the show where we make governments sound way cooler than they actually are.
And probably cooler than we are. I'm JD.
And I'm Brandon, and today we're putting two countries, two countries head to head in a political cage match. Canada versus the United States. And if you're wondering where we're doing this at my house, free for rent.
No, it's for rent.
Or for rent. I take Cash App too, and Apple Pay.
You're poor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Let's not judge a book by its cover. We're talking about leaders, laws, flags, and economic stats. OMG.
stay tuned if you want to find out whether to live under a prime minister, a president, or a moose wearing a crown. Spoiler alert, that's not an option yet.
Let's start with Canada. Canada is a constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary democracy.
Translation, they have a king named King Charles III. But he doesn't actually rule the country. He's more like there for show. He just waves his hand, wears a fancy hat, and gives political speeches.
The real boss is the Prime Minister, currently Mark Carney, part-time leader, full-time selfie enthusiast.
In the USA, it's all about presidents. Presidents, I say. One person runs the executive branch, and they're the face of the country. It's like being the principal and the prom king at the same time.
Hey, except with nuclear codes and less dancing.
Gassed up, shawty.
Yeah.
Said I need my 40. Pull up to the party. Yeah.
Enough dancing. Back to serious. Let's break it down. The branches in the government. In both countries, there are three parts: the legislative, the executive, the judicial.
In Canada, the legislative branch is parliament, made up of House of Commons and the Senate. They make laws.
The executive branch is led by the prime minister and the cabinet. They're in charge of making sure things actually happen, like, hey, let's build a road, or hey, let's fund for healthcare.
And hey, let's get him a new house. Okay, and the judicial branch, including the Supreme Court of Canada, interprets the law. They're like the referees. No whistles, just serious face.
Anyway, in the USA, it's pretty similar. Congress, Senate, the Senate, plus House of Reps make laws. The president carries them out, and the Supreme Court says, hey, that's fair.
Okay. Checks and balance, baby. Like rock, paper, scissors, but with more paperwork.
Damn, I don't like paperwork, especially when you give me paperwork. I'm sorry, Miss Martinez, or Miss Jessro. Leader.
Just like you, Brandon, I used to be second leader. But when the kid was missing, I'd be the first one in line in elementary.
Line leader, that's a big deal. Anyways, well, it's like the same thing in Canada, but except there's no line leaders. In Canada, you don't vote directly for the prime minister. You vote for a party, and the leader of the winning party becomes prime minister.
It's kind of like picking a band because you like the drummer. And then the lead singer gets to be in charge.
And the USA, you vote directly for the president. Well, kind of. You vote in your state. In your state, you vote for electors. And electors vote for the president. And then, BAM! Magic happens.
But hold on. Let's just say it's complicated. Like a Facebook relationship status. You shouldn't be laughing. Look at your hair. It was funny.
Anyways, speaking about houses, let's talk about the economy. Yeah, as you can tell, the economy is pretty shit because I'm living in
Hey, watch that language, young boy.
Sorry, I mean, it's freaking house. Anyways, let's talk about cash money, which I have, as you can tell from my house. Anyways, cash money. Let's talk cash money. Canada is the 9th biggest economy in the world with a GDP around 2.1 trillion.
Now listen to this. The U.S. says, hold my maple syrup. With a GDP over 26 trillion. That's a lot of tacos.
That is sure a lot of tacos. All right, Canada's economy is powered by natural resources like oil, timbers, real estate, and manufacturing like Minecraft.
The U.S., it's all about technology, finance, entertainment, and a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, both countries really rely heavily on consumers spending, but Canada trades a lot of trading, and mostly with drumroll, the USA.
Wait, so it's like Canada trading with the U.S. and the U.S. trading with Canada? That's basically like roommates borrowing each other's stuff.
Just like how I word your onesie.
Put that right here. Editing skills.
I still have it. I'm kidding.
Canada capital is Ottawa, not Toronto, which surprises a lot of people, and it surprised me.
It did not surprise me.
Okay.
Anyways, other big cities. Toronto being like the biggest one in Canada. And we have Vancouver, we have Montreal, and then we have Calgary.
In the U.S., it's Washington, D.C. at the top with New York, L.A., Chicago, and Houston, bringing the population party.
Gassed up, shawty, said I.
Anyways, let's get to the next part. I don't know what that was. Let's talk about timelines. Showdown. Let's do a timeline on Canada. Canada on top. Or no, Canada. Yeah, Canada on top. USA on the bottom.
I'll say this one. I'm going to talk about Canada. 1864, becoming self-governing dominant. 1931, legislative independence. 1982, full control of constitution. 2022, King Charles III becomes monarch. 2025, historic royal speech in Parliament. Yes.
All right, no, I'm gonna do the United States. All right, 1776, independence from Britain. 1789, constitutional begins. 1861 through 65, Civil War. 1964, Civil Rights Act. And 2020, pandemic, election, and big changes.
Now we're gonna have flag talk. Flag. Okay. The flag talk. Here's the Canadian flag. A red maple leaf between two red bars. Simple, iconic, very.
And the red stands for bravery, which I am pretty brave, I would say. And the white for peace, which we don't have anymore. And the maple leaf, that's just been Canada's symbol forever. So it's like on pancakes too, flags. So it's not really a big deal.
The U.S. flag. 50 stars. Ooh. 13 stripes. Ooh. It's got a whole history lesson built in.
Here's a political cartoon from 2023 showing the Prime Minister and the Governor General balancing power. It's Canada's way of saying we like power, but let's share it.
Polite and political, only in Canada. Okay, so big picture, both countries are democracies, but their system works super differently.
The USA president is more direct but more responsible. Canada's prime minister needs to keep a parliamentary happy, kind of like a group project where the group project can or the people in the group can fire you.
In the U.S., one leader can make fast decisions. In Canada, things move slower, but with more collaboration.
If I lived in the USA, I would feel like my vote's very clear to say in the leader. But in Canada, I might feel like the government actually has to listen to the people more often.
Both systems have strengths. The U.S. is bold, direct. Canada's balanced and chill. Just like their snacks, burgers, and poutine.
All right. Well, this is going to be it for everything. if you enjoyed our government showdown and like the button, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more silly, smart breakdowns.
And tell us in the comments, would you rather live in Canada or the US? And which flag would win the fashion contest?
All right. See you next time on World Explained.